Chosen one. Not everyone is meant to hear this message, and if you are listening right now, it is not an accident, it is not random, and it is not because you were bored or scrolling without purpose. Something unseen guided you here because there is a shift happening around you that you may not fully understand yet, but your soul already recognizes it. The universe does not waste its voice on those who are not ready, and this message arrives at a precise moment when your inner world is quietly asking questions your mouth never spoke. You have felt it in silence late at night when the noise of the day fades and your thoughts grow louder. That strange mix of hope and exhaustion, faith and frustration, belief and doubt. That is the doorway through which divine alignment begins. You have been stronger than you realize, carrying responsibilities, expectations, emotional weight, and invisible battles that no one ever applauded you for. Yet you continued. You woke up again. You tried again. You held yourself together even when parts of you felt like breaking. The universe has been observing this endurance, and it is now responding in ways you may not expect but deeply need. Understand this clearly. Delays are not denials. Silence is not abandonment. And struggle is not punishment. Many people misinterpret divine timing because they measure progress only in visible results. Money in the bank, recognition, success stories, or approval from others. But real alignment often begins with internal rearrangement, the breaking of old patterns, the removal of attachments that no longer serve your future. You have recently experienced confusion, sudden emotional distance from certain people, lack of motivation for things you once chased, or an unexplainable urge to change direction. This is not weakness. This is recalibration. The universe is clearing space within you before delivering what you have been asking for. Because what is coming cannot enter a cluttered mind or a fearful heart. You are being prepared to hold something greater than your past limitations. There are lessons you mastered quietly, pain you survived without guidance, and patience you learned without praise. These are qualifications, not scars, and they matter more than you know. You may feel behind in life when you compare yourself to others, but comparison blinds you to your unique timing. Some people bloom early and fade fast, others rise slowly and stand unshakable. Your journey belongs to the second kind, the kind that lasts, the kind that cannot be shaken by temporary storms. Recently, the universe has been testing your faith not to break you, but to reveal what still controls you. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of losing people, fear of starting over. These fears surface when you are close to transformation. They are signals, not stop signs. Every time you chose courage over comfort, you shifted timelines, even when it felt small, even when no one noticed, the universe noticed. Energy never forgets effort, intention, or integrity. If you have been feeling emotionally tired rather than physically tired, it is because you are outgrowing old versions of yourself. Growth is uncomfortable because it demands honesty. It asks you to stop lying to yourself about what you deserve, what you tolerate, and what you truly want. You are being called to elevate not just your circumstances, but your self-respect, your boundaries, and your belief in your own worth. The next phase of your life will require a version of you that no longer begs for validation or chases approval. It will require calm confidence, disciplined focus, and quiet trust. This is why distractions have been removed, connections have faded, and paths have closed, not to punish you, but to redirect you. Closed doors are not rejections, they are protections. You are asking for growth while holding on to familiarity, and the universe had to intervene. Something you once prayed for is moving toward you now, but it will arrive in a form that tests whether you truly learned the lesson or only memorized the pain. Blessings do not always come wrapped in comfort. Sometimes they come disguised as responsibility, discipline, or solitude. Pay attention to signs that repeat: numbers, words, thoughts, dreams, sudden ideas. These are nudges guiding you forward. You are more intuitive than you allow yourself to be. But intuition grows when you trust it, not when you ignore it. Silence is becoming important for you because clarity lives there when you stop seeking answers from everyone else and start listening inward. You will hear guidance that feels calm rather than chaotic. Fear shouts, intuition whispers. Choose which voice you follow. Your past does not disqualify you, it prepared you. Mistakes do not define you, they refined you. Setbacks did not stop you, they redirected you. There is a reason you survived what should have broken you. There is a reason you are still here, still searching, still believing, even when belief feels heavy. The universe is not asking you to rush. It is asking you to remain consistent. Progress measured in patience is more powerful than progress driven by pressure. Trust the unseen work happening now. Trust that alignment is forming, even if evidence is subtle. Trust that your story is unfolding exactly as it should. You are not late, you are not lost, and you are not forgotten. You are standing at the edge of a turning point where inner strength becomes outer stability, where clarity replaces confusion, where peace becomes more valuable than chaos, and where purpose becomes louder than fear. Stay present, stay grounded, and stay open, because what comes next will require awareness, courage, and faith, and you already carry all three within you. Even if you forgot for a moment, this message found you to remind you, not to impress you, not to scare you, but to awaken you to the truth that you are supported, guided, and far closer to alignment than you think. There is a quiet transformation happening beneath the surface of your life that does not announce itself loudly and does not seek permission from anyone around you. It moves silently because true change never asks for validation. It simply rearranges reality from the inside out. And lately, you may have noticed moments where the old reactions no longer fit you, the old habits feel heavy, and the old explanations no longer satisfy your questions. This is because you are crossing a threshold where awareness replaces impulse and intention replaces survival. The universe often begins this phase by slowing things down, not to frustrate you, but to allow you to see clearly what speed once blurred. When life pauses, it invites reflection, and reflection invites truth. You are being asked to observe your patterns without judgment, to recognize where you have been giving energy without return, and to acknowledge how often you minimized your own needs to keep peace that was never truly peaceful. Understand this now. Peace that requires self-erasure is not peace. It is postponement, and postponement always collects interest. The universe is guiding you to choose alignment over approval, direction over distraction, and depth over noise. You have been conditioned to believe that success must be loud and instant, but lasting fulfillment grows quietly through consistency, integrity, and inner clarity. You're learning to measure progress differently, not by how fast things happen, but by how grounded you feel while they unfold. There is a recalibration of values taking place within you. What once felt urgent now feels optional, and what once felt optional now feels essential. This shift is not accidental. It is the result of lessons you absorbed through experience rather than advice. Wisdom earned through lived reality becomes part of your energy, and energy influences outcomes long before actions do. Recently, you may have felt drawn towards solitude not because you dislike people, but because your soul requires space to integrate what it has learned. Solitude is not isolation, it is incubation. Seeds do not grow under constant disturbance. They grow in darkness, pressure, and patience. And you are currently in a season where roots are strengthening before visibility arrives. The universe is teaching you restraint, not as limitation, but as power, when you no longer react to everything. You conserve energy for what truly matters. Emotional discipline becomes spiritual strength, and spiritual strength becomes practical stability. Notice how you are beginning to respond instead of react, to pause instead of panic, to listen. Instead of assume, these are signs of maturation, not detachment. Your intuition is sharpening because you are learning to trust silence more than opinions. Clarity does not come from collecting answers. It comes from removing confusion. And confusion often leaves when you stop forcing timelines. There are opportunities aligning for you that require a calmer nervous system, clearer boundaries, and stronger self-belief than you had before. This is why life has been training you through contrast, disappointment, taught discernment, loss taught detachment, and waiting taught patience. None of this was wasted. Nothing in your journey was random. Even the moments you considered failures were necessary adjustments. You're now standing in a phase where your internal state directly influences your external reality. Manifestation is not wishful thinking. It is alignment between belief, behavior, and expectation. And alignment begins when you stop contradicting yourself internally. When your words, thoughts, and actions move in the same direction, abundance responds to coherence, not desperation. If you have been feeling a subtle pull toward improving discipline, routine, or focus, follow it. Structure creates freedom. Consistency creates confidence, and confidence attracts opportunity. The universe supports those who meet it halfway with luck is not random, it is recognition of readiness. When preparation meets timing, doors open effortlessly. You may have noticed that certain distractions no longer excite you. Drama feels exhausting, and superficial connections feel empty. This is because your energy is recalibrating to attract depth, substance, and purpose. You're being redirected toward people and paths that respect your growth, not exploit your generosity. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. And you're learning to filter without guilt. Guilt fades when self-respect rises, and self-respect changes how others treat you without you saying a word. The universe often upgrades circumstances only after you upgrade self-concept. How you see yourself determines what you tolerate, pursue, and accept. You are being invited to step into a version of yourself that no longer negotiates with self-doubt. That version exists already, waiting for your permission to lead. Fear will attempt to bargain with you, offering comfort in exchange for stagnation. But comfort zones are expensive. They charge you with unrealized potential. Growth requires courage, and courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. Pay attention to the inner dialogue you entertain. Words spoken internally shape emotional reality, and emotional reality influences choices. Choose language that empowers rather than limits. Replace "what if it fails" with "what if it works?" Replace "I am behind" with "I am becoming." The universe responds to the tone of your expectations, not just the content of your desires. Gratitude anchors abundance. Appreciation expands perspective, and perspective dissolves anxiety. Anxiety thrives in imagined futures. Peace lives in present awareness. You are learning to return to the present because that is where power resides. The past cannot be changed and the future cannot be controlled, but the present can be mastered. Mastery of the present creates momentum toward a future that feels earned rather than forced. There is a reason you are being asked to slow your consumption of external noise. Information overload weakens intuition. Simplicity strengthens it. When you simplify, you hear guidance more clearly. When you hear clearly, you act decisively. Decisiveness reduces regret, and reduced regret increases self-trust. Self-trust is a currency more valuable than approval, because with it, you can navigate uncertainty without losing yourself. Remember this: you do not need to have everything figured out to move forward. Clarity often comes after commitment, not before. Take the step you can see. The path reveals itself as you walk. Hesitation prolongs confusion. Action clarifies intention. Even imperfect action teaches more than endless planning. The universe respects movement. Progress favors those who begin. You are not being asked to be perfect. You are being asked to be present and persistent. Resilience is built through repetition, not intensity. Small, consistent efforts compound into significant change over time. Trust the compounding effect of discipline. You may not see results immediately, but absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Growth is happening quietly, beneath awareness. And one day, it will become visible suddenly. People will call it luck, but you will know it was alignment, preparation, and patience. Remain humble during growth and grounded during success. Humility keeps you teachable, and teachability keeps you evolving. The universe supports those who remain open to learning. Arrogance blocks guidance. Curiosity invites it. Ask better questions rather than demanding immediate answers. Questions open doors that answers close. You're entering a phase where your choices carry more weight because your awareness has expanded. Choose intentionally, speak thoughtfully, and act with purpose. Energy follows attention. Place your attention where you want growth. Withdraw it from what drains you. This redirection is not selfish, it is necessary. You cannot pour from an empty source. Restoration precedes contribution. Take care of your inner world and the outer world will respond accordingly. Trust that what is meant for you will not require you to betray yourself. Alignment feels calm even when it challenges you. Chaos feels urgent but leaves you empty. Learn the difference. Choose calm courage over frantic effort. The universe rewards clarity, commitment, and coherence, and you are steadily embodying all three, even on days when you doubt it. This message arrives to affirm that your journey is unfolding with intention, that your growth is real even when unseen, and that your next chapter will reflect the strength, wisdom, and patience you cultivated in silence. When certainty dissolves and familiar ground no longer feels secure, something deeper begins to awaken inside you, a quiet intelligence that is not learned but remembered. And this remembrance carries a strength that does not shout yet cannot be shaken. You may feel as though life is gently pulling you away from versions of yourself that once felt safe. This pulling is not forceful because true transformation respects readiness. It simply creates distance between you and what no longer matches your frequency. You are beginning to sense that effort without alignment drains you, while aligned action restores you. This realization changes how you move, how you speak, and how you decide. The universe often communicates through discomfort long before it delivers clarity, because discomfort breaks patterns that comfort protects. You have outgrown certain emotional habits, reactions, and expectations, and growth always feels unfamiliar before it feels empowering. Notice how your tolerance for chaos has decreased, how your patience for meaningless conflict has thinned, how your desire for depth has increased. These are signals of internal refinement. Refinement is not about becoming more rigid, it is about becoming more intentional. You are learning that not every battle deserves your energy, and not every opinion deserves your attention. Attention is currency, and where you spend it determines what grows in your life. This is why you are being guided to withdraw energy from what distracts you and invest it in what stabilizes you. Stability does not mean stagnation. It means grounded movement. Progress rooted in self-awareness lasts longer than progress driven by pressure. You are no longer here to prove your worth. You are here to express it. Expression feels lighter than performance because it does not require approval. Approval-seeking fragments your energy, while self-acceptance consolidates it. Consolidation is power. Power that feels calm rather than aggressive, steady rather than rushed. You are stepping into a rhythm that values sustainability over speed. And this rhythm will support opportunities that demand consistency rather than impulse. There is a reason shortcuts no longer attract you the way they once did. Shortcuts promise relief, but often deliver repetition. You are done repeating lessons you already learned. The universe recognizes this readiness and responds by offering challenges that build rather than exhaust you. These challenges may require discipline, focus, and patience, but they will also bring a sense of meaning that chaos never could. Meaning nourishes motivation. Motivation sustains effort, and sustained effort creates results that feel earned rather than accidental. You are discovering that confidence is not loud belief, but quiet trust in your ability to adapt. Adaptability is a form of intelligence. It allows you to remain flexible without losing direction. Direction does not always come as a clear destination. Sometimes it comes as a strong sense of what no longer feels right. Honoring that sense is progress. Even if the next step is not fully visible, clarity often arrives after you release what confuses you, not before. You're learning to let go without needing full explanation, because explanation is a comfort of the mind. While trust is a language of the soul, trust develops when you witness yourself surviving uncertainty repeatedly. And you have survived more than you acknowledge. Each survival refined your perception, strengthened your intuition, and expanded your emotional capacity. You are not the same person who started this journey. Even if your circumstances appear similar, internal change precedes external evidence, always. You are being reminded that timing is not about delay. It is about readiness. Receiving before readiness creates stress, while receiving after readiness creates gratitude. Gratitude stabilizes success. Entitlement destabilizes it. The universe prefers stable vessels. This is why your growth has been gradual rather than sudden. Gradual growth integrates wisdom. Sudden growth often tests integrity. Integrity is alignment between values and actions, and alignment attracts support without force. You may notice support appearing subtly, a conversation that shifts perspective, an idea that arrives unexpectedly, an opportunity that feels aligned rather than pressured. These are confirmations, not coincidences. Your awareness of them increases as your mind becomes quieter. Noise blocks. Perception, stillness amplifies it. Stillness does not mean inactivity. It means intentional movement, acting from clarity rather than compulsion. Compulsion is driven by fear of missing out, while clarity is driven by confidence in timing. You are transitioning from fear-based motion to purpose-based momentum. Momentum that does not require constant validation to continue. This momentum feels self-sustaining because it is rooted in conviction. Conviction grows when you keep promises to yourself, even small ones. Self-trust is built through follow-through, not grand declarations. Every time you honor your word to yourself, your confidence strengthens quietly. This quiet confidence changes how you show up.